This week's parasha is Behaalotecha. It's in the book of Numbers. Remember, in the fourth book, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. And not long to go now until the Jewish New Year in a couple of months' time. And the main theme that I picked up in this particular parasha and that I wrote about in my book, which you can see at the top here, the tall book, is signals. And remember that I'm a navigator and I can help you read the maps that God has given you to find your purpose. And you find that using a particular technique that I've developed that I've picked up from studying ancient wisdom. So when we're in the desert and there's 600,000 men plus the women and children, and if they were in the desert for 40 years, they must have multiplied in the desert as well. But this is only still the beginning of the sojourn in the desert. Then there had to be ways of bringing the tribes together. So we have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and then Jacob becomes Israel, and they're the 12 tribes of Israel. And the 12 tribes of Jacob, they're the same. And each of them was given a host, and the host is a flag. So each tribe had their flag, and they waved their flag, and I could hold up the flag, and I could lead my particular people if I was the leader of a particular tribe, or if there were leaders of tribes. And so there were trumpets as well. So I blew the shofar, I blew a trumpet, and then I could signal to people to get into line or to depart. And then there were trumpet signals for leaving, trumpet signals for arriving, trumpet signals for war. And if you hear the bugle and the trumpet in the army, you'll hear all these different sounds that potentially were developed all the way back then, several thousand years ago in the desert, where you have 2 or 3 million people marching through the desert to get to the promised land, to get to salvation. And so we have the trumpet, we have the sound of the trumpet, we have the moving of the trumpet, and we have the hosts, and we have this last quote I'd like to read you from the Plaut Chumash. And if you look over here, this book that says Torah on it, this one is a commentary on the Torah. So it shows you the Hebrew and the English and the commentary. And Rabbi Plaut says, Moses performed signs, but these could be duplicated. But what he said could not be duplicated. The emphasis was not so much on what people saw, but what they heard. In our Jewish tradition, the key word is not re'eh, to see, but rather shma, to hear. The visual sign is gone, the sound of the shofar remains. So, for example, in Christianity is a religion of seeing. The churches, the photographs, the pictures, the paintings, it's a way of life where you see where you're going. But you can close your eyes like that. And there's something that you cannot do with your ears. You cannot close your ears. Even if you push the ears like this, you can still hear. And Judaism is a religion of hearing, Shema. And obviously we have eyes and we have ears and we have a nose and we've got all these things, but the one thing that you can do with your eyes is you can close your eyes and you can ignore if you want to. But the Jewish tradition is you cannot ignore. You have to take part. You cannot be apathetic. Of course, there are apathetic Jews, there are apathetic Christians, there are apathetic Muslims, and then there are go-getters in all the traditions. So it's a generalization, but it's just a feeling. It's not, my thing is that I'm not saying that I'm Jewish or Christian or Muslim or Buddhist. I'm saying man of God. I'm man of God. Because there's so much wealth and capability in every one of our ways of life. And I want us to find the benefits of all the different ways of life and bring them out. So I pray that you not only see, but that you also hear. And when you hear something that you understand, you say, I see. It's an interesting word, interesting phrase, that when you hear something and you say, I understand, you say, I see. Because you see in your mind. That's what you want. You want to take this information and put it inside your head so that you can see and feel what's happening. When I see you and I say in the Native American First Nation tradition, I say, I see you, then it's because I see who you are. It's not like I see you, oh, you wear glasses, you're wearing a shirt, you're wearing a jersey, you've got, whatever color hair, blah, blah. You read these kinds of books. But when I say I see you, then it's because I know you. So we have the signals, we have the signs, we say I see, we say I hear. We have the trumpet that calls us, and we know the signals. We see the signals, we see the signs, we see the signposts on our path, and we know what they're telling us. So I wish you Shabbat Shalom, and I bless you. And if you need healing, I pray that God sends you the healing that you desire, and that if you are sick or there are bad things happening in your life, then try to find out, look underneath, and see what the signals are that God might be sending you in health or in sickness. Amen, and Shabbat Shalom, and peace to everybody.